What has art therapy taught you about life?
It's not obviously it's not cookie cutter. It's not simple. It's not never like that. There's always something to somebody as well. Honestly, and it's the most simplest lessons ever, but it's true. And I think it's like giving me a greater understanding of it now. So because like I would honestly, when I look at the stuff that I was doing and everything like that, I'd be like, yeah, I've just done this because I like the way it moved or whatever, and I like the colours. But then I go, oh, actually, I can see why I've got such repetition with this, and actually I can identify that with that part of my life, and oh, actually I have been pushing this back in my mind and so on, and we're not all perfect and we're all flawed in a way and everything like that. But also it's taught me that anyone can be creative as well. You don't have to be an amazing artist like Van Gogh or whatever. Anyone has the capability to create something. It doesn't matter what your skill ability is, we all have that ability to create, and that process itself can be something that can be one of the most relieving to do. But yeah.
What's the worst advice you've ever received?
In terms of my journey and so on, it's all going to go back to stuff like, in terms of art, it's to do with stuff at school and things I was told. So for example, I got told I couldn't create art if I couldn't buy a sketchbook that day because I didn't have the money for it. And I was just like, I can create art though, because technically anything can be art if you think about it. That was
Did you say the line like, "Oh, anything can be art"?
No,
art
it's not
teacher's
teenager
just like,
me.
Excuse me.
I should have done. But no, she was like, well, if you can't buy a sketchbook, you can't do art. And
Wow.
Yeah.
What a statement.
Yeah. It was a statement. And I was just like, okay. And just like, was in shock, and, made me naturally upset at the time, looking back on teenage me back then. But then in a way, I proved her wrong later, because then I went on to create art that didn't need a sketchbook. So, it was just interesting. And, I've been taught, and there's lots of different things like that have come up about misconceptions with art and everything in general, which obviously naturally feeds into art therapy. Like, I got told that something I thought was painted in, what I thought I painted in love, I got told in a classroom full of peers that what I painted was actually not painted in love. And I was just like,
the fuck does that mean?
So I was talking about, this reminded me of my family, and getting to see both of my parts of my family, because I basically painted a road sign, and this road sign would be, right, I'm halfway to seeing my mum, or I'm halfway to seeing my dad. So when I looked at that sign, it was, oh, I'm close to seeing them or whatever. And they said to me, they were like, I don't think you painted that in love. And it wrecked me. And that was
I'm sorry, but that's such a bullshit thing to say to someone.
Thank you.
Oh, it's not painted in love. Like, what the fuck would you know about that? What do you mean?
Yeah,
it's not painted in love.
And you can imagine, it was in a group full of peers. This was my first year at university doing my fine art degree, this was. And it wrecked me. And ironically, I refused to pick up a paintbrush for the rest of my degree. I didn't pick up a paintbrush again until 2020 during lockdown. And then I went back to painting, because that was the one thing that got me through COVID, was doing art, ironically. And now I'm doing art therapy. But yeah, it completely put me off. And from that, I was just like, saying comments like that, that's like one of the worst things you can do. That's one of the worst things that you can say. And I took that as a bit of advice to myself of going forward in these sessions when I'm with clients. I will never approach it in that manner. I will never do that.